Hello. I'm just so fucking disgusted at the decision of the FBI to allow this fucking bitch to become president. They had the opportunity to topple some of the greatest criminals in human history. They had the chance by just recommending charges. If they would have just recommended charges, it doesn't mean they would have had to gone in and arrest her, but if they would have just recommended the DOJ to charge her in this case. You know, the FBI did everything they could to bring down Al Capone. And what did they get him for? Tax evasion. They have the chance to take this bitch down. And they're not. What that tells me is that the global plan is definitely in place. She is going to be the president. And I'm saying this on July 5th, 2016. This bitch is going to be president. She's going to make Obama her ambassador to the UN. And she is going to recommend her husband to be the president of the United Nations. Imagine that. Bill Clinton is the president of the United Nations. Obama is the United States ambassador to the United Nations. And this fucking murderer is sitting in the White House. She's publicly stated that she is going to use nuclear weapons against Iran. You know, I was holding out some glimmer of hope that the FBI would at least recommend charges in the email scandal. But they're not. They're telling us that they were extremely negligent with classified documents. But there was no intent to break the law. You know, there's agreements. She was the Secretary of fucking State. She is one of 10 people in the country that is allowed to classify documents as secret. She was one of the 10, I should correct myself. One of 10 people in the fucking country that could classify documents as secret. And she's telling us that, oh, they weren't marked secret, so it's okay. She jeopardized the safety and security of her subordinates in the State Department. She had Ambassador Chris Stevens killed because he was trying to buy back Stinger missiles that Obama and she had given to ISIL. She had Vince Foster murdered in the 90s because he was going to come forward with information he had about Whitewater and about Travelgate. Travelgate being the White House Travel Office. You know, in the mid-90s, in the mid-80s, Bill Clinton and H.W. Bush set up one of the largest drug operations in American history She was the First Lady of the state. She was under criminal investigation as First Lady of Arkansas. She is the one and only First Lady of the United States to be under criminal investigation. She is running for president under criminal investigation. She had 76 people murdered in Waco. The FBI has just shown the Illuminati's hand. This bitch is going to be the fucking president. She is going to start World War III. Why in the hell are we allowing this to happen? You know, she used to use the IRS as her own personal goon squad. You know, all the bitches that Bill had these affairs with. You know, she didn't go after Bill and say, hey, what are you doing? No, she used the IRS to coerce and intimidate the women. Jennifer Flowers, an example. Another White House aide, I can't remember her name. I believe it starts with a W. Wanda Williams, something like that. You know, people that, when IRS agents are interviewed about it, they say the chance of those types of women being audited by the IRS are the same chances of being struck by lightning. And these women are audited 3 years in a row. She has publicly stated that she is willing to use nuclear weapons against Iran. PNAC, the Project for the New American Century, they put out a white paper. They wanted to invade 7 countries in 5 years. And in that white paper, they also discussed an American democratic presence in the Far East with an eye on regime change in China. You know, this foreign policy of fucking regime change, guess what? What if these motherfuckers decide that it's time for you to have a regime change in your household? That's where we're going with this. Why are these domestic administrative agencies spending tens of millions of dollars on arms and ammunition? Domestic agencies such as the Department of Veterans Affairs? Why does the VA need to spend $11.6 million on arms and ammunition? The IRS? Why does the IRS need to arm 3,700 tax agents? Why do they need 600 FEMA camps set up and operational in the country? Why do they need 125,000 disposable coffins outside of Macon, Georgia? Each coffin able to hold 5 bodies. Do the math. That's 500,000 people. Why does the Department of Homeland Security need to have 1 billion rounds of ammunition? Hollow points. Hollow points are designed for one thing. That is to kill human beings. And they're going to make her the president. You mark my words, July 5th, she will be president. And within her first term, we will see World War III And there will be nuclear war on this planet. You know what's going to happen after that? Bill Clinton as the President of the United Nations. Insane Abomination as the United States Secretary to the United Nations. Pardon me, Ambassador to the United Nations. And I shouldn't call Bill Clinton President of the Secretary General of the UN. They've already stated publicly that would be the plan. Obama is the ambassador to the UN. Bill Clinton is the Secretary General. And you know what means? You know what that means? It makes them king and queen of the world with their little fucking court jester. Today, the decision by the FBI has jeopardized the entire world. And if you think I'm kidding, and you think I'm just a fucking whack job, and you think this is all bullshit, because McDonald's is still flipping burgers, and Walmart is still selling fucking sweatshop clothes. You know, she was on the board of directors of Walmart. You know, Walmart is part of the FEMA camp setup. Dude, it's a dark day. We need to do something. We need to do something immediately. Write your senators, write your congressmen, demand that she be brought to justice. That's the only way we're going to be able to stop her, short of an assassin's bullet. We are all in dire straits. We are the majority on the planet. Why are we allowing this to happen? We can't stand for it. This is the future of this planet. And she is going to use nuclear weapons on this planet within the next 4 years. Within the next 4 years, we are going to see nuclear war because they're putting this bitch in the fucking White House. We got to do something. We have to stop her. You know, and there's this debate, oh, what, is Trump better? As long as she is not there. We have to do something.